American way of life, folks, the American way of life is slowly dying. Slowly dying. There will be no summer. There will be no restrictions being lifted. None of that will be happening. And if you guys are planning to attend Summerslam in Boston, like I wanted to, we will not be allowed to do so because there won't be a SummerSlam in Boston. Now, normally I would say there really shouldn't be a SummerSlam at all. There hasn't been a SummerSlam to me in the last couple of years because SummerSlam has been one of the worst produced shows with one of the worst yearly builds for like the last decade. So I don't give a shit either way, but it's still the second biggest show of the year. WWE will likely have to relocate SummerSlam. They're going to relocate SummerSlam, or have to relocate SummerSlam. Now, WWE has yet to announce any changes for the SummerSlam pay-per-view, but it's looking very unlikely that the event will be held in good old Boston, Massachusetts. Now, the Boston Mayor, Marty Walsh, announced today that large-scale events like parades and festivals will not take place this summer. Walsh said that smaller events will be looked at on a case-by-case basis, so perhaps this may open the door for WWE or smaller companies to run shows in smaller venues. WWE had big plans for SummerSlam in Boston, as Rob Gronk was supposed to wrestle on that show. Thank the Lord. That is now canceled. There is also talk of a big feud paying off during that show, and I will obviously talk about that on today's show because I have news on that and what has been talked about and why Edge and Randy Orton are going to be on Monday Night Raw this coming Monday. Now, Marty Walsh said this: "We are planning a healthy reopening and a recovery process as soon as the health data tells us it's safe. But we do not envision a point this summer when it will make sense to have large crowds gathered in close contact for prolonged periods. I can announce that parades and festivals will not take place this summer in the city of Boston up to and including Labor Day on September 7th. So this is what I advocate for WWE to do. WWE, and I shit on them more so than anybody in the community. I am very aware of this. I am very proud of it. If you don't like it, you could go take a fucking walk. This is what I advocate for WWE to do. They did one, even though the build sucks, they did one good thing in regards to Money in the Bank. They actually went out there and had the initiative to give us something different. Now, whether that different is good is a whole nother story, but we'll see on Sunday night. They went out there and tried something different with the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. They're actually filming it, or had filmed it already because it's already in the can. At the WWE headquarters, the Money in the Bank match has been filmed. Both the women and the men's match will happen simultaneously from the ground floor of the headquarters all the way to the roof, where they have an entire setup and operation built on top of the roof of Titan Tower. I appreciate WWE branching out and doing something that normally we would never see in World Wrestling Entertainment to fit the narrative of what is going on in the world today. That was a very creative idea. Whoever came up with that idea, you know, normally I don't give praise to anybody in WWE, but you get a little Tiger Woods birdie on 9 golf clap from me. This is what WWE needs to do. Just like you did that with Money in the Bank, why don't we just have WWE? Because I know Vince is rolling in the money, right? WWE made all this money in the first quarter of 2020. Why doesn't WWE rent out a private beach? Let's take the fucking operation down to Miami, Florida. Let's take the operation down to Daytona Beach. Rent out the entire beach, private beach, for this closed event. You bring fans, you have fans social distance in the warm weather. The warm weather, the hot weather kills the virus. I don't know why nobody's going to want to be outside anyway, right? Everybody's going to want to be outside. This is the ample time to get people and start reopening the economy because we all want to enjoy the summer, and the virus and whatever's going around right now, quote unquote, we have a lesser chance to contact whatever it is in the summer. So WWE can take this and really run with it and give us not only a SummerSlam that makes sense, but a SummerSlam that is fun, fresh, different, and fits the narrative of what's going on in the world today. I advocate for WWE to rent out a private beach or a beach in general for this event and really make it close and intimate and personal. And this could be a great thing. This could really be a great thing, not only for WWE, not only for their creativity, but how fun would it be for not only the wrestlers, but the fans to see SummerSlam take place like an actual bash at the beach. The greatest party of the summer really never gave you that vibe. It was pretty much the same set that you see on Monday Night Raw. Shit feuds, dead crowds, nobody gives a shit, shitty booking. This could erase most of that and really just take people out of the norm and really put SummerSlam in its ideal setting. I think this would be great. So I advocate for WWE to rent out a beach in Miami or Daytona Beach, somewhere in Florida, somewhere warm, and go about making SummerSlam really feel like the biggest party of the summer. Is this possible? It's possible. Will WWE do it? Of course not. Because WWE is the masters of making things unfun. They're not cool. They don't want to have fun. They refuse to have fun whatsoever. I think this would be a great thing for WWE to do. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments of this very video. This is Off the Script. Thank you guys so very much for watching me here today on YouTube, listening to me on Spotify and iTunes and all other major audio platforms. This is episode 325, part number 2 for your Saturday, May 9th, 2020. We got a big weekend ahead of us. We got Money in the Bank on Sunday. I will be live streaming a preview and predictions, as always, right before the show goes on the air, around early afternoon, around lunchtime. Might have some guests. Not really sure yet, but we'll figure that out. But I will be live, myself, I will be live on YouTube on Sunday afternoon, and then again on Sunday night with the Money in the Bank pay-per-view official review right here on Off the Script. So look forward to that. And it's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. If you're a mother yourself listening to the channel and the podcast today, happy Mother's Day. Hope you guys really do something special for your mothers out there. The most important person in your life, your mother, right? She's the most important person in no, never mind. Never mind, I won't go the Dice. I won't go the Andrew Dice Clay route today because it's Mother's Day. But in all seriousness, happy Mother's Day to everybody, and hope you guys enjoy what you got coming to you. If you guys missed the podcast on Friday, it was a great show. I was really pleased with the show. We talked about the revival on Talk is Jericho. We talked about Roman Reigns and why WWE might be mad at Roman Reigns or Vince McMahon in general. Just his vision of WWE, them erasing Roman Reigns from history, right? Or trying to rewrite history without Roman Reigns. I don't know what the deal is. I'm hearing now that it's changing day by day on a day-by-day basis. Sometimes Vince McMahon wants to erase him. Other times they are getting orders to just leave him in these video packages and whatnot. So if you guys want to go check that out, a whole bunch of stories coming out of SmackDown. Jimmy Uso hurt. We got Sami Zayn news. We got a ton of SmackDown news with the ratings. Unbelievable show. Kept it to an hour and a half. Go and check it out. Would really appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe, all that stuff. So I really appreciate that. You missed anything else on the channel, Monday Night Raw, AEW, NXT. I got the fucking week loaded with you guys and content. So make sure you guys go and check it out down below in the description of this very video. Hit that thumbs up as always. Let's try for 2,000 thumbs up on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys want to follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. And please, if you guys want to support the podcast, as always, patreon.com/JDfromNY206. Let's get right into the news, man. Update on WWE and AEW having fans attend live shows. Now, if you guys watch Dynamite on Wednesday, which I thought was one of their best empty arena shows with an unbelievable main event street fight with the Elite and the Inner Circle, Sammy Guevara. I am not really sure how he's alive and walking today after that golf cart incident. Kenny Omega almost killed himself on a crane or a platform that raised up, and he did a moonsault down to the concrete, which had to be 30 feet above from where everybody was standing. Unbelievable stuff. But there were fans in attendance at this show. I don't know if they're friends and family. I don't know if they're related to the staff or roster in AEW, or if they were genuine fans that were allowed in the venue. Some were wearing masks. Some were not wearing masks. Some were social distancing. Some were not social distancing. WWE has not had anybody in these shows. Nobody in Full Sail, nobody in the PC. And I honestly think if WWE wanted to, they could still abide by the CDC rules and regulations in the state of Florida, and they could actually have life to their shows, but they won't do it. For whatever reasons, they won't do it. It might be too much of a headache for them, but AEW seems to be a little bit less strict in those certain areas. Now, there's a big update on if WWE and AEW are going to have fans attend these shows. There was a report last week that the state of Florida is going to allow, in phase 1 of their economic reopening, that these venues for sporting events could have 25% capacity filled for these events. Now, I found that to be excellent news. I think that is easily manageable if the proper precautions are taken. But that was not an immediate reopening phase. That was not going to go into immediate effect in the state of Florida. It has emerged that while this is part of the plan in the state of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis' phase 1 plan for reopening the state and the economy, it was not a part of the executive order that he signed to go into effect on May 4th. So it's going to come somewhere in June when phase 1 is actually in effect. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced this week that fans may resume attending sporting events in the state of Florida at 25% capacity with social distancing measures. This would include AEW and WWE events. I think that's an excellent decision when it does go into effect. This means that WWE and AEW are not permitted to start welcoming fans back into the arenas from Monday. Obviously, we've seen that on Raw. Nobody was there. I don't know who those people were on Dynamite on Wednesday. Something that was previously believed to have been the case. However, it is believed that they will be able to do so in the next month or so. This has seemingly been confirmed by Dave Meltzer on Twitter, who said that while WWE and AEW cannot hold shows with fans from this point on, still, they may be able to do so next month starting in June. It is important to note that while fans may be allowed back into venues for these shows, the episodes that we see on TV will still look significantly different from usual shows we have seen for a couple of years now, or a number of years. The venues reportedly will only be 25% full, and social distancing rules must be followed. However, this will likely be a massive improvement to the experience for everybody watching at home, and that is no doubt about it. Now, there are other sources in the community that have learned that as of Saturday afternoon, the company has not made any internal announcements about bringing fans back to their television tapings in regards to WWE shows. At this time, they seem to be continuing with the idea of taping at an empty performance center. WWE recorded 2 weeks worth of programming already. So we are just at the end of this current cycle. And I believe starting on Monday, WWE is going to retape the next 2 weeks of television to fall in line with what they had scheduled for the roster to be at home and then be at work as little as possible. So WWE's recorded 2 weeks worth of programming. That ended with SmackDown last night. And next week's shows will be taped, I believe, on Monday. That being said, even if they want to bring fans back right away, it wouldn't be on television for a few weeks. So even if they were allowed, it wouldn't have happened this week if the executive order actually went into effect. It would actually take place next week, but this is not taking place next week. It's actually going to start in June, hopefully, with phase 1 of the reopening of the economy in Florida. Now, from what I can tell, I think I read that Money in the Bank will be live at the WWE Performance Center. If I was a betting man, I would say Money in the Bank is going to be live on the WWE Network on Sunday. The Money in the Bank match will not be live. It will be cinematic from what I'm hearing. It will be taped, and it will be coming from, as you know, the WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. It was actually taped in the early part of April. So WWE, I got news on that and what they're going to be doing with the match and how they're going to edit that into the show. But that is happening on Sunday. The company's next listed taping is Monday Night Raw, following Money in the Bank on May 11th. Monday's Raw will be taped in the afternoon, and then will go directly to the USA Network for airing at 8 p.m. It will be as close to live as possible without actually being live. Monday Night Raw will be taped on Monday, and then they will actually be taping the following week's Raw that same day. So that's going to happen for Raw on Monday. SmackDown's going to be taped on Tuesday. 2 weeks of SmackDown will be taped on Tuesday. And then 2 weeks of NXT will be taped on Wednesday, with the roster being at home for the duration, and then right back at it again the following week with the next set of tapings. So that is what's going on there. So I think this is going to happen eventually. I can't wait for it to happen. I think it's going to make the shows better. Will WWE be on board with this? I don't know. They have really floundered as far as making these shows, I guess, kind of fit into the overall feel and try to branch out and make these shows feel somewhat normal. WWE has not done anything at all to make these shows engaging, exciting, worth watching. Nobody's going out of their way to watch these shows. In fact, the vision of Vince McMahon and the vision of these shows is actually driving people away from watching pro wrestling in general, because nobody can watch the sport in its current state. It's awful. You know, WWE, I mentioned this several times, they want to go out there and tout that they are woven into the fabric of society, that they're doing this because they want to take people out of what's going on in the world today, and they want to bring smiles to families and smiles to people's faces, but all they're doing is really enhancing the fact that we are living an abnormal life. We're living in a world right now that is very scary, very uncertain, and nobody knows what the fuck is going on. So they are actually doing the opposite. They're driving people away. So I don't know why they don't go out of their way to really make these shows feel as close to normal as possible. Hopefully they do. You know, I joke around about WWE being uncool. I mean that so much. I just can't get it through, you know, my head about how uncool they are. Like, how could you go about operating your business this way? I know you got shareholders and stockholders to make happy. You don't want to go out there and risk anybody because, God forbid, there's a fucking lawsuit, someone gets sick inside the performance center and blah, 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 all this shit. I know, but you gotta do something as far as making these shows have some sort of life. You got to. If the 25% capacity is open for you to use, and really go out there and just make these shows, you know, feel somewhat normal, then do it. Use it. Use it to your ability to make the shows better. WWE is like that uncool grandparent, right? You know, the strict grandparents, when the grandkids go over there. It's like, oh, no sweets before dinner, you know, and you spend the night over your grandparents' house. No, you got to be in bed by 8 o'clock, no TV. You want to read a book, you go read a book, right? It's one of those situations where WWE just comes off as the uncool grandparents. Meanwhile, WWE, being the uncool grandparents, you look over at AEW, they're the cool grandparents. Stay up as late as you want, watch as much TV as you want. You want a midnight snack, you want sweets before dinner, whatever, man, right? It's open season. It's like the tale of two fucking grandparents. WWE and AEW. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. AEW's having fun with it. Why is WWE not having fun with it? Or why wouldn't they explore having fun with it? Oh, that's right, because WWE, if they actually go and make these shows seem somewhat normal, then people will jump on them for copying AEW, and they don't want to give AEW credit about doing anything as far as, really enhancing the empty arena shows. That's why they don't do it. God forbid WWE borrows an idea from AEW. They got to be the leaders in sports entertainment, right? Give me a fucking break. You're actually harming your product by not doing what AEW is doing. Because AEW, you're going to blame them for being cool, for being hip and being smart about the situation, all while following the guidelines for what's going on. Meanwhile, you're not doing anything and you're actually holding everything back. You're driving people away. So I don't get it, man. Hopefully this shit changes and we get WWE getting somewhat back to normal. I don't see why they wouldn't. But it's Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is 74 years old. If there's one thing about Vince McMahon, he's a little demented, man. Uncool. He's the uncool grandparent. Is Vince McMahon. ACH wishes he never called WWE racist. Remember ACH? I don't. Talented as hell, though, but I don't. ACH went ballistic with a string of angry tweets towards WWE. He didn't really appreciate the fact that his NXT t-shirt resembled blackface when put on a black t-shirt. This caused a downward spiral that resulted in his release after saying WWE doesn't care about black people. While speaking to the Submission Squad podcast, ACH had a chance to give his side of the story. He was able to look back now, and he wishes that he handled the situation much differently. Now he admits that he should have put the phone down and never sent those posts. Wow. What a time we're living in, man. ACH is sitting at home, in quarantine, in Florida, wishing that he had never sent those posts, because if he didn't send those posts and he handled things a little bit differently, maybe he'd still have a job. Because now he sees that the WWE and AEW are still operating business. He'd still be collecting a paycheck. Now he's back on the indies with no work in sight. What's going to happen then? How long are you going to be out of work? So now ACH is sitting at home. Now he feels guilty about doing what he did. Meanwhile, everybody came to his defense. Everybody came and fucking made this guy a hero for standing up for himself. Right? I did appreciate to an extent that ACH stood up for himself. Did I think he went about it in the completely wrong way? Absolutely. He blew things completely out of proportion. It's not as serious. If you have a level head and talk to somebody, everything would have been resolved. He still would have been with the company. He'd still be on TV. He'd still have a job. He'd still be collecting a paycheck. He wouldn't be at home feeling guilty about what he did. But where are all those people now that vouch for this guy? Where are they now? Huh? Now that he's coming out and saying, I should have never said that stuff. I feel guilty now. Where are all you now? Oh, yeah, that's right. Quiet. He did wrong. Everybody that blasted this guy were blasted by all of his supporters. So where are you now when this man is admitting guilt? Huh? Oh, yeah, shut the fuck up, just like I said. While speaking with the Submission Squad podcast, this is what he had to say. I always do my best to be a positive person. I always try my best to be a good person. And man, being attacked by people you don't know, coming from all angles, all cities, states, countries, telling you that you're wrong, it's like, fuck, dude, it broke me. It really rocked me to my core. And I'll be honest, I wish I could have did things differently. I wish I would have just turned my phone off and just kind of let things die down. But being in the moment and so angry and feeling like no one's listening to you, I felt like I was trying to tell everybody something, my side, or like trying to be heard, and I was just constantly being ignored. So I would pick up my phone and say, you're not listening, and I would just start texting and going off, and this guy, blah, blah, blah. And I remember sitting back and thinking, man, this is not me. But I was so angry, and I felt like I was not being heard, and I was constantly being attacked. End quote. ACH is now on his own. The indies are right now halted I would say, right? And the odds that he will find work eventually when the time comes is incredibly high. The guy is mega talented, so he's not going to have a problem finding work, but this could have all been avoided. Now he's sitting at home, just not collecting a paycheck, not working, and he sees AEW and WWE still putting on live television or close to live as they could be, and he's not working. And he's got nothing going on for himself. His stock has fallen. He made himself look like an idiot here. He ruined his reputation to an extent. Now he feels guilty about it. So he's admitting that he's wrong. So where are all the people that fucking blasted all of us who said he blew this shit out of proportion, this was not necessary? Where are all those people, now that this guy's admitting his guilt and that he was wrong, where are all those people to admit that they were wrong about everybody's opinion on him as well? Give me a break. Sometimes things aren't as serious as they are made out to be. I'm not saying that you can't go out there and express yourself. I do it every fucking week. He was upset about it. Good for him. He stood his ground. But there's a way to do it in an angry way like he did, and there's a way to do it in a respectful way behind closed doors. He was so talented that he risked his fucking livelihood for what? A goddamn t-shirt? This could have been talked over and eradicated like that. You think Triple H wants to go out there and release talent knowing how talented he is? You think Triple H wants this upon him in NXT? Nobody wants that. You think Vince McMahon and WWE want this? We all know Vince McMahon might be racist anyway, but that doesn't mean, they want this under their belt as a publicly traded company. They don't want to deal with this fucking headache. All he had to do was talk calmly, like a man, to everybody involved, and he failed to do that. He went out there and called, what's his name for Ring of Honor? Uncle Tom, Jay Lethal, right? Called Jay Lethal Uncle Tom. Meanwhile, Jay Lethal's fucking holed up in a hospital over in Europe because he broke his fucking arm. He wakes up, his fucking DMs and his Twitter are blowing up because ACH called him an Uncle Tom. Are you fucking serious? Did Jay Lethal do anything in that time period to really deserve those comments? This guy was an angry dick. Now he feels guilty about the things that he said. Now he wants to move on. It's too little too late. When things open up, that's when you'll find the job. I would not be surprised. He goes back to Ring of Honor. He ends up in an Impact. WWE's not going to touch this guy with a fucking 50-foot pole. AEW's certainly not touching this guy. Ring of Honor, Impact, I could see him end up in Impact. That's where all the losers end up anyway, right? ACH is too talented to not find work, but he absolutely, and I'm not saying he can't stand up for himself. I'm not saying he was in the wrong for expressing himself, but there's ways to go about it. You did fuck up. And now he's out of a job. Now he feels guilty sitting at home. Someone who I am glad is not back in WWE is Carlito Cool. Carlito, I spit in the face of people who want to be cool, who don't want to be cool. Whatever the fuck he said. It's been so long. Carlito was, I would say, an average mid-carder in WWE, right? Now, the most successful of the Colognes, I would say. Adamantly, that's not really a stretch, being that Primo and Epico have been, Titus Catering VIPs for very long, man. They're on the Wall of Fame over in Titus Catering. But since leaving WWE in 2010, there have been several rumors about Carlito coming back to the WWE, not coming back to the WWE, Vince being interested in him, Vince not being interested in him. So, Savio Vega came out this week and claimed that a deal was close to bringing Carlito back to the WWE last year. However, a return did not materialize, and Epico recently sat down for an exclusive interview with Super Luchas to explain why Carlito never made it back to the WWE. He says, and I quote, "We talked with Vince McMahon and Michael Hayes, and Michael Hayes was behind us and gave Vince the okay signal. Sounds good, sounds great. So we, him and his brother, said, okay, let's bring Carlito back in the process. But during this entire thing, 3 months happened, and politically other people of power within the WWE making interference. I don't know if Carlito made this person mad, but when he called Carlito, he just offered him the money of a developmental contract. Take it or leave it. So Carlito said, no, I don't need the WWE. The WWE needs me. What? Let me rephrase that. Let me reiterate that again to you guys. Carlito went and said, no, I don't need the WWE, which might be true, right? He can make just as much money wrestling for anybody down where he is or somewhere else. I don't need the WWE, but this is what gets me. The WWE needs me? Who the fuck is out there thinking that the WWE needs Carlito Cool? They need Carlito just as much as they need Cain Velasquez. They need Carlito just as much as they need Rob Gronkowski. They need Carlito just as much as they need Zack Ryder. They don't. They don't need half of the fucking people they got employed right now. They're not even using them. But WWE needs Carlito Cool on their shows on Monday or Friday. You fucking kidding me? Really? Carlito was nothing special. The best thing about Carlito was the fact that he has excellent taste in fruit. And he had good-looking hair. Other than that, I don't know why the fuck you'd bring Carlito back to the WWE. It's absolutely going against everything that we do need in the WWE. Bringing back another old-timer just to take the top spot or a top spot away from somebody who's there full-time and deserves the push and the rub more than Carlito. Right? You want to fill the roster with aging talent that never got over in the first place, that will never get over now in 2020, that will not affect the ratings in any which way whatsoever. There's absolutely no positives to bring Carlito back to the WWE. Who the fuck is out there wanting Carlito back in World Wrestling Entertainment? Please let me know who these people are so I can swiftly give them a fucking middle finger right up the ass. Awful, awful decision that. I would, if I'm WWE, why the fuck would you give Carlito a contract? He's lucky he got a developmental contract because that's all he's fucking worth. That's all he's worth. So they went on to finish saying, so I understand that there was something interfering between us and Vince because we had a great relationship with Vince. Yeah, so great that you were in fucking catering for 2 years before you made one fucking TV appearance, right? One day we were talking with our director of talent relations, Mark Carano. We asked him about Carlito, but he told us that Vince has not given the okay, so we told him, let's go talk to Vince. He's there. Carano was afraid of that, but we said to him, yes, we have confidence in Vince. So we grabbed him by the arm and we go to Vince's office. He's on the phone and we ask him about Carlito, and our director says, what are we going to do with Carlito? And Vince made the thumbs up signal. Vince approved the idea, but after several weeks, we realized that Carlito's return to the company was no longer going to materialize. Carlito himself said that the last time he properly spoke to WWE was in 2015, but the two parties were unable to come to agreement regarding money, so a return never took place. Epico and Primo obviously were a part of the Black Wednesday releases, along with dozens upon dozens upon dozens of other WWE talents in the office, out of the office, roster, NXT, main roster, you name it. Black Wednesday, they were released. Don't know what took so long. They should have been released 3 years ago. Again, folks, I don't need to reiterate myself, but this would have been an absolutely epic fucking failure. This would be on par with bringing MVP back to WWE television. What has that done for the overall health of Monday Night Raw? Not a goddamn thing. In fact, it's actually made some of the show worse. So please spare me the comments about Carlito coming back. You want Carlito back in WWE? There's a creative suite in WWE 2K20. Go and create him and put him against anybody you want on the fucking roster and leave it in a video game and away from people like me on Monday and Friday night. Fucking awful. It's the one thing I hate in this company. It's the fact that they neglect actual talent. There's no reason to bring in somebody that hasn't been on TV in 9 fucking years and put him back into the thick of things in 2020. You're only really showing the roster that you got right now that none of them really matter and that their position is up for debate. You're going to bring in somebody like this to take somebody's spot away? Come on, bro. Seriously, that is an awful, awful, awful move by WWE, and I'm glad that it did not happen. Reason why WWE stopped airing classic matches during Raw and during SmackDown. Why did they stop airing classic matches? Because it didn't fit into the overall arc of what they were trying to tell on weekly television, building towards their next major pay-per-view. That's why. Nobody wants to, or the ratings were plummeting, right? Nobody wants to watch matches that you could go out there and watch anytime, on any day, on the WWE Network, on your own time. Nobody wants to tune into a show that you're promoting as new programming to watch a fucking rerun. Nobody gives a shit. So starting in late March, WWE had to move its weekly television shows Monday and Friday to Orlando inside the Performance Center. WWE had to do so because of the outbreak of CV in the United States, as states wouldn't allow large gatherings for events, and CDC guidelines noted that there shouldn't be more than 10 people inside of buildings at once. When WWE decided to air their programmings from the Performance Center, they also decided to air classic content, such as matches during these broadcasts of Raw and SmackDown, in addition to new segments and matches featuring their current roster. WWE did this for several weeks up until recently. Now WWE has gone back to their normal format of all new content on their shows. A fan asked Dave Meltzer on Twitter as to why WWE stopped airing classic content on their TV shows. Why this is in the brain of people out there on social media, why people are asking this, I don't know. Just leave it as it is. They stopped, and goddamn, I'm glad that they did. Why is this a thing? This is the logic of the general consensus of the YouTube wrestling community and the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community. That is what's on your mind? Oh, why did WWE stop airing classic matches? Who the fuck cares? You got the network, you watch it when you want. Don't show me classic matches on Monday and Friday when you should be giving me new content and pushing new stars and giving me new matches and building towards pay-per-view. Meltzer said this: Vince decided against it. He would then chime in by stating that it would have run its course, and perhaps it already had run its course. As with everything in WWE, Vince has the final say. Going forward, WWE will be doing a mixture of live and taped, as you guys know, for Monday and Friday's shows. So I don't know why this is a thing, because it didn't make the shows any better. It actually made the shows worse. You want to lose the audience, which they are losing rapidly week to week. You want to lose the audience even more? Give them something from 7 years ago that does not factor into anything that you're doing on TV right now. How many people picked up the remote control, changed the channel, got up and went to go do something else? What did you do when WWE showed a 20-minute match with Asuka and Charlotte that didn't factor into anything whatsoever on the road to WrestleMania, or a Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels match that you could go back and watch any time on any day when you want on your own personal time? What did you end up doing? You left the room for about fucking 45 minutes because there was 7 commercial breaks in between these things. You went to go finish a fucking mission on Destiny. You went to go play something, Madden, NBA, WWE 2K, whatever the fuck you guys are playing now on your PlayStation or Xboxes. You went to go game. You went to go walk the dog. You went to go do this. You went to go that, right? Cook some dinner. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to watch old shit. So I'm glad that they got rid of it. It was absolutely mind-numbingly bad just at the thought. Well, I got to tune into a new show and I got to see a fucking rerun for an hour? Plus, it also doesn't make WWE's creative really stand out. They don't stand out on a normal day, but man, oh man. Lazy is WWE creative during all of those reruns. That's what I got, and that's the vibe I get every fucking week. I don't need to enhance that feeling already that I get on Monday and Friday night. Guys, I've always said to you that I would never promote something that I do not believe in. A lot of you guys are probably wondering when you watch me on a daily basis here on the channel, here on the podcast, why I'm always wearing a baseball cap. Everywhere I go for pretty much the entire time I've been alive, I came out of the womb wearing a baseball cap. It's always phone, wallet, keys, and my baseball cap. I never leave home without it. I wear it everywhere, no matter what I'm doing, no matter the time of year. I will wear my baseball cap all year round, even sitting here in the comfort of my own home, recording the podcast. Why is that? Because we all suffer with self-confidence issues. We got some self-esteem issues. And one of the things that I struggle with and have been struggling with is the fact that you got a little bit of baldness up here. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. But now there's a way to take care of that. And I want to thank them for supporting the podcast. We are being sponsored today by Keeps. Did you guys know that 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time you are 35 years old? The best way to prevent hair loss is to do something about it while you still have hair left. You guys can get treated from home. You used to have to go to the doctor's office for your hair loss prescription. Now, thanks to Keeps, you can visit a doctor online and get your hair loss medication delivered right to your front door. They make it easy and deliver your medication every 3 months so you guys can say goodbye to pharmacy checkout lines and awkward doctor visits. Keeps offers generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products out there. You may have tried them before, but probably never for this price. And prevention is key. Keep treatments can take up to 4 to 6 months or more to see results, so it's important to act fast. The sooner you guys start using Keeps, the more hair you will save. And a bonus, 5-star reviews. More 5-star reviews than any of its competitors, and nearly 100,000 men trust Keeps for their hair loss prevention medication. Guys, if you are losing your hair, do something about it. For a limited time, go to keeps.com/JD or click the link down in the comments pinned at the very top of this video to receive 50% off your first order. Once again, guys, if you are noticing that you're losing your hair and you want to do something about it, use Keeps for a limited time. Keeps.com/JD. Click the link down in the comments section, and I want to thank them for supporting the podcast right here on Off the Script. The Monday Night Raw rating. The Monday Night Raw rating hit a historic, and I mean historic, all-time low on Monday night. I love it. I love it. Absolutely fantastic news. Why do I love it, folks? I love it because this is the only way that WWE will actually do something to fix their product. They will look at no other statistic, no other analytic, and do anything about it. Not one fucking thing. The shareholders that have invested money in this company, they refuse to ask any questions. They don't know a goddamn thing about WWE. All they want is their pockets lined with green. I know when Vince McMahon says something about, oh, we've not seen any change in SmackDown since we have gone to the empty arena shows. I would have been like, I would have stopped him mid-sentence. Vince, can you explain A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, Humberto? Give me a break, man. Give me a break. Humberto Carrillo on Monday Night Raw. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what we want to see, right? Humberto, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, Humberto. Awesome. He was on Raw. He was on Raw. Did he factor into a positive rating, an all-time big return for Monday Night Raw? No, it actually aided in Monday Night Raw hitting the most historic all-time low in the history of Monday Night Raw. Now, this week's Raw set the all-time low for viewers with an average of 1.68 million viewers. That is down 7% from the prior week And that was a record non-holiday low. And showing the effects of the empty arena shows, they're driving away viewers larger and larger each week rather than stabilizing or growing. And it's similar to what SmackDown is going through on Friday night. This broke the all-time low of 1.78 million viewers set on Christmas Eve of 2018, as well as the non-holiday record of 1.82 million set last week. The drop in 18 to 49 was 9%, and that was a 0.46 rating, putting the show in 4th place for the night on cable. Overall, Raw was 24th on the night, which is a better finish than it had been doing, and only the 90 Day Fiancé show on TLC, which drew a 1.83 million viewership, beat Raw in total viewers among non-news programming, because you all gotta be brainwashed by the mainstream media in regards to the CV-19. Wear your masks. Social distancing. The drop during the show of 14% was normal, so the story wasn't the show itself turning off viewers as much as the lack of interest in watching the show to begin with. The first hour was the second lowest first hour in history, while hours 2 and 3 were the lowest hours 2 and 3 of all time. The third hour was the least watched hour in Monday Night Raw history. The drops in the key demos from hour 1 to hour 3 were 8% with women 18 to 49, 11% with men 18 to 49, and 14% increase in teenage girls during the show, and an 11% drop in teenage boys, while over 50 dropped 15%. The 3 hours came in as follows. 8 p.m. was a 1.81, 9 p.m. was a 1.69, and 10 p.m. was a 1.55. Folks, if you missed Monday Night Raw, let's go over exactly why people aren't watching the show. Asuka and Shayna Baszler with Nia Jax on the MVP VIP lounge. Now, Shayna Baszler was supposed to be a big deal on Monday Night Raw. She came in like a house on fire. They had that one night where she looked like a savage animal, biting Becky Lynch's neck, blood all over her face. She was a vampire. People were calling her Count Dracula, right? The cage fighter, doing what she's got to do to get the one-up on Becky Lynch to hopefully take the Raw Women's Championship. And then Becky Lynch, for 3 straight weeks, she clowns around, takes Shayna to be a clown herself, doesn't take Shayna to be serious. She comes out wearing Jerry the King Lawler's crown. She comes out wearing a makeshift Conor McGregor robe, but she wears meme sunglasses, trying to act all cool, right? And not taking Shayna Baszler seriously. Then she wants to throw money around for a payment of a fine that was never going to come to Becky Lynch at all. And then she wants to start getting serious about Shayna Baszler. So Shayna beats her up before WrestleMania. We go to WrestleMania, and Shayna Baszler is in a losing match, a losing effort against Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Does not win the Raw Women's Championship. And Shayna Baszler, at the end of all of this, was buried. Buried. Why would anybody take Shayna Baszler seriously if A, Becky Lynch is not taking Shayna Baszler seriously? And why would anybody take Shayna Baszler seriously if she already lost clean to Becky Lynch? I don't get it. I really don't understand the logic. This woman was booked brilliantly for 2.5 years in NXT under Triple H's watch, and it took WWE 4 weeks to bury Shayna Baszler. And then you wonder why no new stars are built, and you wonder why the women's division is fucking terrible in its current state. Terrible! Don't get me started! Asuka. By the way, Shayna Baszler on this night on Raw, she could not look more irrelevant. She does not come off as a star. She does not come off as special whatsoever. Asuka's been one of the bright spots of Monday Night Raw. If you want to label a quarantine MVP on Monday nights, it's Asuka. She's been there. She's wrestled. She looked great. No more Kyrie. But apparently Vince McMahon is all in on Asuka. I don't know what the fuck took him so long. And then we got Nia Jax. Nia Jax actively makes the fucking segments that she's in god-awful television. It is just so terrible to watch. I don't know how anyone out there is a fan of... Why? I would love for someone to explain to me why you are a fan of Nia Jax in the pro wrestling realm. What has she done that she has actual fans out there? Honestly, I don't get it. I really don't understand why Nia Jax is on television when everybody just vehemently hates this woman for all the wrong reasons. She's not a good wrestling heel. She can't wrestle. The fuck is she doing there? Oh, that's right. She's related to The Rock. And WWE can't upset The Rock. They can't upset Dwayne Johnson, right? This woman is an absolute fucking disaster. Every time she shows up on television, I want to fucking go blind. I really do. I want to vomit whatever I had earlier in the day when I see Nia Jax. It is awful, awful, awful television. Really. I don't know what they're going to do as far as her winning Money in the Bank or how dominant she's going to be in Money in the Bank. She comes back. Nothing's changed about her. Same look, same hair, same outfit, same theme music, same fucking skillless wrestling moveset. It's awful. It's absolutely terrible. This should be about Shayna. Shayna should be the top of her class right now on Monday Night Raw. Where is she? She's actually on Nia Jax's level. That's how she's been portrayed. That is a fucking crime. A crime. And then, like I said, you want to know why WWE's not building up new stars and why the women's division is fucking terrible. You look at this one segment and you got all the answers you could possibly ever ask for. Awful television. AJ Styles won a last chance gauntlet match to claim the final spot in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. A gauntlet match that's seen the absolute fucking burial of Angel Garza and Austin Theory, and you might as well just get rid of everybody that Zelina Vega has managed on Monday Night Raw. Get rid of the stable. It is fucking buried. Angel Garza, you would have not heard a peep out of me if he won that Money in the Bank gauntlet match. You wouldn't hear a peep out of me if he actually won Money in the Bank. But not only did WWE foolishly book Angel Garza and Austin Theory to lose back-to-back, but he lost. Theory and Garza, they lost to Humberto Carrillo, a guy that's been off TV for a month and a half and has been portrayed like a loser. He's not won one big match he has been involved in. Not one. The fact is, he's got a beautiful-looking moonsault, and that's all I could say about poor little Humberto Carrillo. This was an absolute burial of Zelina Vega's guys. Bobby Lashley, he buried Titus O'Neil. Who gives a shit? Titus was only waiting until his baked ziti was fucking done in the oven on Monday night. Quick squash, about 1 minute. He goes right back to catering. He's serving Dana Brooke right before her very eyes, on time, still piping hot. Extra mozzarella. Then we got Akira Tozawa. The guy's on fucking Wednesdays on NXT in the Cruiserweight Interim Tournament. Round robin tournament, right? He looks like a fucking loser on Monday night, but he's on Wednesday winning and going 2-0 in the tournament. How are you supposed to take him seriously? It's a conflict of interest there. If he's in the tournament winning, why is he losing so badly on Monday night? Guy has absolutely no chance on Monday night. So they do this with Bobby Lashley. He runs through Titus. He runs through Akira. He runs through Shelton Benjamin, only to lose to Humberto Carrillo. All for AJ Styles to feast. If you wanted AJ Styles in the Money in the Bank, you might as well just have given him the Money in the Bank qualifier. Seriously. And that's how you bring AJ Styles back in a fucking gauntlet match? Which you've already run into the fucking ground. What the fuck is the point of it? You're trying too hard. You're trying too hard to fill 1 hour of television. You're trying so hard to recreate something that was magic with Kofi Kingston and magic with Seth Rollins in years prior. It hasn't worked since you did it with Kofi last year. And you continue to try and try and try and try. And all these gauntlet matches do is tell me that creative is fucking lazy. Let's book 7 guys in 1 hour so we don't have to do as much work as originally planned. That's why they do it. It's creative fucking laziness. It's a creative team that is absolutely inept to do anything right. And they figure, you know what, let's throw these guys out there, 7 guys in a gauntlet match, and fill 1 hour of TV time on Monday Night Raw, because fuck Monday nights. AJ Styles wins, you bury Zelina's guys, and Bobby Lashley tried to look dominant, but loses to a fucking guy, just like Garza and Theory did, who's been off TV for a month and a half. And he was already injured! Bobby Lashley beat him down after the match, and Garza and a fresh Theory couldn't do it. Awful, awful, awful booking. And nobody questions it. They all look at me like, okay, JD's complaining again. Fuck this guy. I can't listen to the negativity. Meanwhile, you're a brain-dead, brainwashed fucking puppet. You're an idiot if you don't see what I see. These are the people I do not want to converse with, because you are going to make me and everybody around me dumber for the fucking logic that you don't see. Or the illogic that you don't see. You don't bring me any logic whatsoever. So that was awful television. Just shit fucking television. Seth Rollins sent a message to Drew McIntyre ahead of Money in the Bank. I'm liking the look. I'm liking the jacket, even though it looks a little feminine there, champ. I like the glove. Cut a good promo. Sat down with Charlie Caruso. He insinuated that Drew McIntyre was not fit to be the standard bearer of WWE before promising to give him the stomp and take the WWE Championship and the burden it brings to him at Money in the Bank. Brendon Vink and Thorne beat Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. What a great way to build a new up-and-coming tag team, right? Losing to jobbers. Jobbers in Brendon Vink and Thorne, who have not been given any promotion by WWE or given us any reason to care about these guys. But Ricochet and Cedric Alexander are fed to a team that nobody gives a shit about, or a team that nobody really should give a shit about, because WWE has done nothing for us to care about them. And then you wonder why tag team wrestling is dead in WWE. On Raw, on SmackDown, in the entire company. Dead. Absolute ridiculous garbage. That's Cedric and Ricochet, who I am actually enjoying as a tag team. Still don't find them to be a legit tag team. It goes back to what the Revival said on Talk is Jericho. You take 2 singles guys and make them into a tag team, you're going to get over. WWE's going to be more apt to push you instead of a tag team that looks like the Revival or the Ascension or AOP or the Viking Raiders, right? So this is WWE just showing you that the Revival were right, and this is showing you that WWE Creative sucks cock. Sucks big, fat cock. Awful, awful booking. Viking Raiders versus the Street Profits. That was the match. Don't really get it. I don't really get it, and this is what I said on Monday. WWE had the Viking Raiders beat the only tag team on Monday night. The only other tag team besides these 2 tag teams is Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. They had the Viking Raiders beat them in what I thought was a decent match. A botch here and there, but a decent match. So the Viking Raiders went out there and said after the match that we're coming for the smoke. We won a tag team title match. Great, book it at the pay-per-view. What does WWE do? They book it on Monday on Raw. They have the Street Profits, who are the tag team champions, lose in a non-title match when the Street Profits, they didn't need to wrestle on Monday. The Viking Raiders didn't need to wrestle on Monday. They were already the number 1 contenders by default because they beat the only other fucking tag team in the WWE. They already came out there and said that we want the smoke. Why would the Street Profits deny them the opportunity to do that? So WWE books this match to have the champions lose, only to give us the same match on Sunday at the pay-per-view, when all they could have done and all they should have done was take this match, not have it happen on Monday, and do it Sunday at the pay-per-view. It would have been fresh. It would have been new. Now we're all going to sit around on Sunday night and watch the same match that we seen on Monday. Yet I'm the one who complains. Yet I'm the one who doesn't know anything. Bro, give me the stroke of a fucking pen, and I'll write a show better than Vince McMahon could ever. I'd be sitting in the fucking creative room looking at Vince. Bro, this doesn't make sense. This don't make sense. This don't make sense. And believe me, I'd be raising my hand like a fucking grade A fucking student. You know, with the fucking pocket protector in his pocket. Asking questions, right? I'll be that geek in the front row. The fuck's going on here? You don't see this shit? Charlotte Flair and Liv Morgan. Yeah, that really made sense of Liv Morgan beating Ruby Riott twice, right? To build some momentum, feed it to Charlotte Flair. Waste of 2 weeks for Liv Morgan. Yet I'm the one who fucking complains. Was this necessary? Absolutely not. Now Liv Morgan is back to square one, and Ruby Riott's got 2 losses under her belt that mean absolutely nothing. Nothing. Fucking ridiculous. Drew McIntyre versus Buddy Murphy. What'd you think was going to happen? Murphy was going to stand the chance. The guy got buried. Absolutely buried. And then Rollins and Drew McIntyre, they build towards their Money in the Bank match, which I don't care about. We've seen the match fucking how many 6 or 7 times on Monday Night Raw when McIntyre was with Ziggler and Lashley and Corbin and all that shit, right? I mean, give me a break. Battling the Shield in the final reunion of the Shield. You think I forgot about that, though, right? With Rollins and McIntyre on Raw all those times? Now that it's happening in an important setting, now it doesn't mean much because we've seen it about a half a dozen times already. So when people say I complain, do I have any validity in why I complain? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You guys got to be smarter about what you're watching. That's why I'm here. So now you can know, or now you should know, why Monday Night Raw suffered the worst rating in the history of Monday night. And it was absolutely justified. Justified in every sense of the word. AEW wins the ratings war again on Wednesday night. So we got Dynamite from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, 732,000 on TNT, up 5.6% from last week. In the 18 to 49 demo, the show finished 12th for the night in cable and drew a 0.28 rating, Dynamite's biggest number in that category since March 25th. That was up 3.7% from last week. On USA Network, NXT was also a loaded show. It came off like a takeover show, but when we watched it and sat down for 2 hours, it was nowhere near a takeover level show. So it was kind of disappointing in some ways. NXT was loaded. 2 title matches. NXT debut of Karrion Kross, which was fucking phenomenal. Guys got superstar written all over him, especially with that entrance. Holy shit. The episode averaged 663,000 viewers, up 4.1% from last week. In the 18 to 49 demo, NXT climbed back into the top 50, finishing 33rd with a 0.18 rating, up 12.5% from last Wednesday. If you guys want my thoughts, my full thoughts on NXT, I actually did a review this week with Ticket Drew, really in-depth. I was really proud and happy with what we really put out there. Make sure you guys go and check that out. If you missed my NXT review, it was live. And I know YouTube has been suffering a little bit with the notifications of when we go live. So you guys might not have gotten that via your mobile devices or PC or wherever you're watching me. But if you guys want to go check that out, I was with my boy Ticket Drew. We really did a great job just dissecting NXT and going over all the major storylines, giving you guys the great analysis that you expect here on Off the Script. So make sure you guys go and check that out. Link is down below in the description. In the 18 to 49 demographic, NXT climbed back into the top 50. The combined audience. This is what gets me, folks. Look at this. Look at how Raw. Look at how Raw on Monday is suffering so badly. The combined audience on Wednesday night between AEW and NXT was 1.395 million viewers. Now, obviously, the DVR is not counted in these numbers. The DVR will probably bring both shows up to close to 1 million. AEW probably over 1 million. NXT just about there, right? That's what Meltzer always reports. The viewers on Wednesday, combined, was almost identical to 2 weeks ago as the best number since March 25th. The combined audience for both shows was a 1.395, and Raw had a 1.68 million viewers. Just as much people combined, almost just as much people combined on Wednesday are watching the same amount of wrestling on Monday. I don't know what that means. I really don't. First of all, the fact that they had a huge night on NXT and only drew 663,000, that's not good. That's not good whatsoever for what they produced on that show. So that's worrisome as far as WWE goes. AEW will be fine. AEW has been the better show. You know, it's just been the more, I wouldn't say it's the better show. NXT has been good, but AEW is a little bit more watchable for some reason, just because of the way that they're handling this empty arena stuff. The 8 Dynamite episodes prior to March 18th averaged 859,250 viewers. Since that date, the subsequent 8 shows have averaged 745,875 viewers, a drop of 13.2%. For NXT, the same 8 weeks of shows pre-pandemic averaged 741,750 viewers. Since then, they've averaged 643,875 viewers. The drop was the exact same at 13.2%. Look at the other wrestling shows over that same time frame. Since there have also been 8 weeks of Raw and SmackDown, Raw averaged 2.290 million views for the 8 weeks prior to closed set episodes and 1.948 million viewers since then, a drop of 15%. SmackDown averaged 2.5 pre-pandemic and 2.249 million since then, a drop of 10.5%. And SmackDown had the advantage of having John Cena and Goldberg on before WrestleMania 36, which likely boosted those numbers and fell in the same time frame of after the pandemic started. So, you know, a lot of you guys probably don't give a shit about the ratings, but I like opening the eyes of everybody. I want to be there when the ratings hopefully go up on Wednesday. I do think that they will. And I think that they should. A lot more people should be paying attention to what's happening on Wednesday compared to Monday and Friday. Wednesday is where you got to watch. Fuck Monday and fuck Friday. They're not doing anything right. At least on Wednesday, we're getting somewhat, of a decent amount of wrestling. But the fact is, 1.395 million viewers on Wednesday combined is just at the same amount that Raw is drawing for 3 hours on Monday night. That is fucking terrible for Monday Night Raw, So when people start saying, you know what, Wednesday is for the vanilla midgets and Wednesday is for the indie marks, Monday Night Raw ain't doing anything right, man. Monday Night Raw has been fucking awful. The creative illogic, the same shit over and over again, No building of new stars, constant burial of stars that should be the focus, the primary focus of your television show. Nothing. SmackDown sucks. We went over SmackDown yesterday. It's fucking awful. Spearheaded by a Braun Strowman vs. Bray Wyatt feud that nobody gives a shit about. Nobody. I don't understand. I don't understand. Stop defending garbage. I will always be here to call out WWE when they do wrong. And I will sit here and give them praise for when they do things right or what's good on their shows. And lately, nothing has been good on these shows. Why would I sit here and find positive in something that they don't even put any effort into fixing? I can't do that. AEW wins, deservedly so, and it was just a better show. Even with this takeover-like hype, it didn't really feel like a takeover. I felt like NXT on Wednesday was slightly disappointing outside of the Gargano-Dominic Dijakovic match and Karrion Kross on his debut. I felt like NXT was ultimately disappointing. It was just another show. AEW was just a much better presented show with build towards their pay-per-view on May 23rd. Is WWE thinking of ending the brand split? How does WWE get the ratings on Monday and Friday back to where they think it is suitable for NBC Universal and USA Network and Fox? Is ending the brand split the way to fix ratings? I don't think so. But I've been on record saying that I do think that we do need a brand split. There are ways to work around while you can still have a brand split, but also kind of not have a brand split. You guys, I've talked about it just so much that I'm sick of mentioning it, to be honest with you. I'm going to mention it again. But is it that far-fetched to end the brand split? Would you guys want to see WWE end the brand split and give variety to Monday and Friday? Really just for... This is why I said if WWE wanted to take a month off with the pandemic and really hit the reset button following WrestleMania, I would have done so. I would have absolutely kept everybody off TV. Now, obviously, they were not allowed to do that because of the TV deals that they have in place right now. But imagine if WWE ended the brand split and we actually put a focus. It could work if they want to end the brand split. Put a focus on main event, right? Put a focus on main event and then put a focus on the mid-card, put a focus on tag team, put a focus on women, and put everybody in a division. You put everybody in a division and you make them compete in said division until you deem them ready to move on to something else. That's what they should do. And WWE has no idea what they're doing. Everything is just a clusterfuck. Main event, mid-card, women's, tag team. Simple. It is absolutely simple logic. Now, WWE, they can't do that. They got so many fucking titles to worry about. They got so many titles spread across both of these shows that doing a brand split and putting the IC title and the US title on the same show, it's stupid. It's stupid. And WWE is not going to get rid of these championships. So we can't get rid of a US title. We can't get rid of a women's title. Can't do it. Or we can't get rid of a world title, rather. They can't get rid of a universal title and a WWE championship. WWE's not going to do that. They got these titles because they are the major titles. They are the top titles for their brand. The brand split, in theory, sounds cool. Separate rosters, separate identities, but both of these shows look the same. The idea for the brand split was to give identity to Raw and identity to SmackDown, where they would not feel the same, yet every single week, there is no difference between Raw and SmackDown outside the fact that Raw is 3 hours and SmackDown is 2 hours. It is basically the same fucking show with different commentators. That is all it is. So how does WWE fix the ratings? How does WWE fix the ratings? At this point, there is no answer. I don't think the ratings, no matter what they do, will be fixed until there are fans back in attendance and people have a desire, a real passion to watch pro wrestling again. No one is going to watch pro wrestling in an empty arena. It does not work. You can give me all the cinematic matches you want. You could go out there and think outside the box all you want. It's not going to work. Everything you do is going to be a Band-Aid. What they need to do is wait until things go back to normal. How long that is, I don't know. And when you finally get to that point, what you need to do is sit down and really organize your roster to a point of mid-card, main event, tag team, and women's. And I'm going to reiterate this again. You can have a brand split. You can have the WWE Championship on Raw. You can have the SmackDown Championship, the Universal title on SmackDown. You can have the IC title on SmackDown. You can have the US title on Monday Night Raw. That is fine. Those mid-card titles should be used as a platform for the next guy in line to be the man. Let's start bringing prestige back to the mid-card championships. If you are an Intercontinental Champion and you are a US Champion, you are virtually the number one contender for that brand and that show's major championship. That is the next guy in line. Now, WWE has not made you feel that way. WWE has not made those titles feel like that in God knows how long. I would have to go back to my childhood when I'm watching Shawn Michaels and Mr. Perfect and Razor Ramon and Bret Hart and those types of guys hold the Intercontinental Championship. That's when it last had meaning. I have not felt that way about those titles, those mid-card titles, since then. And I don't think that's going to become a thing because they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. WWE needs to focus on new talent. WWE needs to let the chains, a little just off the chain, a little loose, right? They got to loosen the chains. They got to loosen the handcuffs on these shows. Not only with the commentary team, but the way the shows feel. They feel overproduced. They feel just completely the opposite of organic. They feel unnatural. None of these shows, it's like sending kids to boot camp and having them do the same thing over and over and over again. Promo sounds scripted. Nothing sounds good. Everything about these shows is just copy and paste from the week prior. Every single week that we wait for Raw and SmackDown on USA and Fox. It's the same fucking show that we seen last week. Just different matches. And in some case, on Monday Night Raw, the same fucking match. Over and over again. These shows need a complete overhaul. A complete overhaul. Everybody was excited about Monday Night Raw and SmackDown having the brand split and going to, really dedicated separate rosters. The show was going to have a different feel. I want you guys to think back to when SmackDown Live in 2016 had their draft, right? When we had that draft and the shows went their separate ways. The different camera angles on SmackDown really added a different feel to the show. The looseness of the show. That show felt as close to NXT without being NXT because they focused on the wrestling. And then, in typical Vince McMahon fashion, everybody was buzzing about SmackDown. Nobody was talking about Monday Night Raw. Everybody was looking forward to Tuesdays on SmackDown, and they were not looking forward to Monday Night Raw on Monday. And Monday Night Raw being his show, right, at the time. It still is his show, but he now has Paul Heyman doing his puppet work for him. But it was Vince McMahon completely in control. Head of creative, still is the head of creative, but he was there without someone like Paul Heyman and someone like Bruce Pritchard there. But those shows were being looked at as, this show sucks. I can't wait for Tuesday at SmackDown. That's what I want to see. When SmackDown started getting all that buzz and Monday Night Raw wasn't, Vince killed SmackDown and everything went back to being the same. What you seen on Monday is what you seen on Tuesday. What you seen on Tuesday, you seen on Monday. It was no different. The shows did not have that different feel. That show did not have that dedicated feel. They were not separate entities anymore. And that's what killed SmackDown. Then all of a sudden you got Jinder Mahal as the WWE champion, and then SmackDown, forget about it, fell off the rails, crashed into a fucking building, forget about it. It was just a terrible, terrible time. WWE killed SmackDown because SmackDown was doing much better than Monday Night. They were getting just as good out of a rating than Monday Night Raw. And that was all Ryan Ward. And it might have been some of Road Dogg, but it was all Ryan Ward, who came from NXT. He had that NXT vibe. Killed it. Absolutely killed it. And we don't have that anymore. The different camera angles gave it a different feel. These shows are shot the same. They feel the same. They sound the same. I don't know what to do outside of what I've already said, pretty much stated as far as the divisions. WWE, Universal title. U.S. Intercontinental Championship. You don't need 2 women's championships. You don't. You don't need 2 tag team championships. You don't. You don't need a women's tag team championship. You don't. There's not enough women on the roster to have a tag team division. A division can exist when you have 6 or more teams, preferably more. 6 is still too low to me. You can't have a tag team division on Monday Night Raw with 3 fucking teams. You can't have a tag team division on SmackDown with 4 different fucking teams. You can't do it. Get rid of 1 set of championships and make a universal tag team championship. Take the Street Profits, take Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, take the Viking Raiders and merge them with the SmackDown tag team division. You go from 4 on one brand, 3 on the other, to maybe 7 or 8 different teams. And you can spread them across both shows. You got the women's divisions on Monday night. All we've seen was Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott. There's no Becky Lynch for whatever reason. Asuka, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler. It's not really what I call a division. Natty is there, but who the fuck gives a shit about Natalya? I'd rather watch paint dry than watch fucking Natalya Neidhart wrestle. Then you got Sasha Banks, Bayley, Lacey Evans, Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss, Tamina on SmackDown, Carmella, Dana Brooke. 75% of that division is fucking terrible. Nobody wants to see them on television, period. Yeah, they got more women than Monday Night Raw, but imagine if you take Monday Night Raw's division and merge it with SmackDown. Imagine seeing Sasha versus Liv Morgan on Monday night. Imagine seeing Sasha versus Asuka on Monday Night Raw. Imagine seeing Shayna versus Bayley on SmackDown, right? Imagine seeing Ruby Riott versus Bayley or Sasha on SmackDown. I'm not using the other women because they're fucking terrible. Naomi's another. Imagine seeing Naomi and Bianca Belair on Monday night. Take the fucking divisions and merge them together. You can have a couple women's matches on SmackDown, a couple women's matches on Raw. You don't have to feature everybody every single week. The division will flourish. Matches will mean more. The one championship will be elevated because there's not 2. Am I speaking a foreign language to you guys? Are you grasping what I'm trying to say? So you're keeping the brand split intact, but you're eliminating the fucking empty void of these two divisions that mean absolutely nothing to WWE television. They are virtually non-existent. They are irrelevant on WWE television. That's something I think Fox would go for. That's something I would think NBC Universal goes for, right? Why wouldn't USA Network or NBC Universal want a Sasha Banks or a Bayley on Monday Night Raw? Why wouldn't a Fox want a Shayna Baszler on Monday Night Raw? You're spreading the wealth, right? Imagine the Street Profits versus the New Day, or the Viking Raiders versus Miz and Morrison, or you got Ricochet and Cedric Alexander versus the Forgotten Sons, or the Lucha House Party, the Usos, Heavy Machinery. This is what needs to be done. It will make the overall shows better. You put a focus on the divisions. You put a focus on the championship. You build continuity. You build competition within those brands. And not those brands. Yes, those brands, but those divisions. Then on top of that, you can worry about booking the mid-card and booking the main event. This is simple. If WWE just focused on logic, if WWE focused on writing a TV show that made sense, if WWE loosened the chains a little bit and kind of steered away from that just unnatural, uncool, just fucking formulaic feel and presented itself like a laid-back, cool, we're going to be a competitive brand, a competitive wrestling company that focuses on intensity, that focuses on continuity and storylines and character development. Give me some video packages on new up-and-coming talent. Give me that NXT vibe where everything matters on the show. Nothing on NXT is irrelevant. Everything that is put on NXT's TV show means something. Why don't we got that on Monday Night Raw and Friday night? Why? It is mind-boggling how simple this all is. If people, and it's not going to happen overnight. What I'm telling you is not going to be an immediate fix. What I'm telling you is going to be 6 months to a year plus to get that disenfranchised fan back. When you start putting on good shows and you start putting on good pay-per-views and you start building characters and people and wrestlers that people want to see, fans will slowly start to come back because it's going to be word of mouth. One person's going to lead to two, two's going to lead to eight, eight's going to lead to 16, and then people are going to start watching the shows more frequently. People are going to actually be excited to watch these shows. If you go and do the NXT model of 7 years, if you go back and look at what SmackDown did from July of 2016 to December of 2016, the answer lies within that. That's all you need to do. Dave Meltzer reported that Vince McMahon, his possible actions to combat the slumping ratings would be to end the brand split. They are below 2 million viewers a week, and things are looking bad. The option is there to remove the brand split, but it doesn't appear to be happening at all right now. He talked about it, though. Are we going to have the brands merge, he says? I don't think they are this time. That's what Vince would normally do, is merge the brands and end the brand split. We've seen it time and time again. Are they going to have heads rolling? I don't know. But it's not going to be an overnight fix. They actually, how do you fix what's going on right now? Show us that you fucking care. Because right now, the fuck it all attitude that Vince McMahon has is actually hurting the company more than it is helping. My concept will work. My concept is simple. The concept of how to fix things is right underneath your nose. Just look at what your son-in-law's doing. Care. Show love. Build. It's not that difficult. Vince just doesn't give a shit. Seth Rollins. He says he wants Edge. There's your match for SummerSlam. Because who is Edge going to build his next feud with? He's already taken care of Randy Orton. Right, Edge is going to be on Monday Night Raw. I doubt he has anything to do with Randy Orton. Why would he? That's over with. That's over and done with. He got his revenge. Randy Orton doesn't give a shit or shouldn't give a shit about what happened with Edge. Edge is moving on. Edge has 5 or 6 big matches for the year, for the next 3 years. And one of those will be against Seth Rollins, because there is a history there. There is a history between these two. Brief, but there is. Seth Rollins recently did an interview with Alex McCarthy of TalkSport that is slated to be released Sunday to promote the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. At this show, Rollins will challenge Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. He will not win it, and that will be the main event of the night. McCarthy tweeted out an excerpt from the interview which featured Rollins talking about how he not only wants to face Edge, but also feels like he has some unfinished business with Edge. It all dates back to January when they had their first encounter at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view in Houston at Minute Maid Park during the Men's Royal Rumble. This content served as Edge's first match back since he retired in 2011. This is what the tweet said by Alex McCarthy. He says he wants to face Edge. He feels there's unfinished business from this year's Royal Rumble and from when he threatened him on Raw. He feels there's a good story to be told there. Now, I don't know what the story would be based off what happened in the Royal Rumble, but is it a match I want to see? I don't really care for it. I mean, if there's somebody on that brand, I think that could bring a good match out of Edge. It would be Seth Rollins. The thing is making me care. They tried with Randy Orton, and they made it the best WrestleMania build out of everything on both brands. I'm not worried about them building a good story between Edge and Seth Rollins. I'm not. Because you got the ideas from Edge, you got the ideas from Rollins to really make this special and really make it feel special in the emptiness of the arena where we've seen both Edge and Seth Rollins cut fantastic promos. I'm not worried about any of that. It's the delivery of the match itself. It's the production of the match itself. Is WWE going to go the same route with Edge and Rollins like they did with Edge and Randy Orton? And if so, it's just going to be that much more terrible. It's going to be disappointing again. And that's not what I want for Edge's comeback. We already went through a 36-minute match, or however long it was at WrestleMania, that everybody fucking shit on. It was critically shit on by everybody. I don't want the same thing to happen with a Seth Rollins Edge match at SummerSlam, which is the rumor right now. So what does WWE do? What do they do? Can Edge even go at that level in a ring away from that gimmick of a last man standing match? You know, there was not much technical aspect to that match. Pick up a trash can, hit him with a trash can. Choke him out with some gym equipment, choke him out. Throw him on top of a table, do that. A DDT on top of a fucking production truck, whatever. You know, a spear on top of a production truck, whatever. There's not really much technical aspect to it, to that type of match. With Rollins, what are you going to do? That's the one thing we need to figure out. How is Edge going to be bell to bell in an actual wrestling match? We still don't know. Is he going to be able to go? How long will he be able to go? We don't know. He proved he could last endurance-wise in a last man standing match, but there's really not much technical aspect, like I said, to that type of match. This will be very, very different compared to what he did with Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So it's going to be very interesting to see. The story will be there. I'm confident that Paul Heyman and whoever else is in charge over there, you know, sitting down with these guys, are going to come up with a story that makes sense. They did it with Randy, and it was phenomenal. The match was terrible. The story here could be phenomenal. Same thing could be. The match could be terrible. So we're going to have to wait and see. But if history is any indication on what we're going on here, I don't have any confidence in Seth Rollins and Randy, or Seth Rollins and Edge having a good match together at SummerSlam. So we'll see. Yeah, it'll sell. Edge is coming back on TV because the ratings are poor, right? So that's why they're doing it. They don't have to have Edge back on TV. SummerSlam is not until August. If there is even a SummerSlam at this point, we don't know. They're bringing Edge back in May after Money in the Bank with SummerSlam in August. They don't need him to maybe July. Why are they bringing him back? Because the ratings are 1.6. That's why. They want people to watch the show. But, again, we'll find out how big of a draw Edge really is. I'm sure the rating will be up. Randy Orton's supposed to be there as well. They're bringing in all the big guns for Monday Night Raw following the pay-per-view. We'll see what happens. We'll see how much of a draw these guys really are on Monday night. Vince McMahon wants to give a monster push to a new up-and-coming superstar. Now, if I tell you it's Brendon Vink of Brendon Vink and Shane Thorne, the same guys that beat Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, would you believe me? I think the majority of you would say no. I don't believe you, JD. Yeah, it's Brendon Vink. WWE has big plans for Brendon Vink. Mike Johnson noted on PW Insider Elite Audio that Vink is someone who WWE management has been keeping an eye on for a while. Johnson said Brendon Vink has been a project in the developmental territory for some time. Evolve had him, where they were using him to build him up. He would have been given a bigger push in Evolve if they had not been shut down. Johnson also said that Vink's call-up to Raw is the beginning of them trying to make him into a big star, and there are plans for a long-term push for him. Johnson said, one person described it to me as it was kind of like the Braun Strowman experiment. When Braun Strowman was part of the Wyatt family, when Vince McMahon saw him as a long-term project to build for the future. That's kind of where they are with Brendon Vink, to build him as a long-term project. Vink, his real name is Elliot Sexton, was signed to a developmental contract in 2019. The 6'5" Australian certainly has the look that Vince McMahon favors, and it appears he has all of the tools to become a top name in the company. I don't know that as of yet. You know, all this talk about giving a monster push to Brendon Vink, it seems like Shane Thorne is going to be out of the equation. He's going to be shit out of luck here. So Shane Thorne is only being used on TV right now to give Brendon Vink time on TV. And when all is said and done, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to bury the Wyatt family like they did when they did. They pulled Strowman, ended the Wyatt family. Wyatt family went their separate ways, right? There was nothing special about the Wyatt family. They split them up via the brand split. And Brendon Vink is going to be the same thing. If it's going to be compared to Braun Strowman, they're going to pull him away from Shane Thorne. Shane Thorne's going to flounder and do nothing. And WWE is going to focus all their attention and efforts on Brendon Vink. I don't see it yet. I don't see why you are looking at a Brendon Vink and not looking at a guy like an Angel Garza or an Austin Theory or doing something with Ricochet. You castrated the fucking guy to where he looks like a just garbage wrestler. The presentation of Ricochet is garbage on Monday night. I looked at this guy on NXT in his first match there. I seen superstar written all over him. WWE basically took everything away from him. It's like they cut his manhood off. Why aren't you focusing on guys like that? Why aren't you pushing guys like that? Why do you constantly bury guys like that? Aleister Black is another one. Now they're finally using me after a year. Wasted. Guy's 35 years old. What the fuck were you waiting for? You know? Apollo Crews is another one. Took you 5 years to fucking figure out what you got in this guy. Now you want to use him? WWE's mentality is fucking just fucked up. Their priorities are not straight. They don't know who they have, who they want to use, when they want to use them. They don't know. 1 week it's Cal Bloom, guy that was buried by Sheamus on SmackDown last week. Now it's Brendon Vink. I'm not saying you can't think of the future, but look at the guys that you got now who are the future that you're fucking burying. Now you want to push this guy? Now you got plans for this guy? What makes this guy stand out that the other guys don't have? He's 6'5". Great. What do we know about him? We don't know shit about him. Yeah, you have these guys on TV that have everything that you could possibly ever want. You got the most talented roster in the history of this company, and you don't do anything with it. So what makes me, someone like me, look at Brendon Vink and think, well, they got something special in this guy, and then look at everybody else that you got up and down that roster, and what makes you think I'm going to gravitate towards him and not find sympathy for those guys? It's ridiculous. Vink's call-up is the beginning of them trying to make him into a big star. Are they going to be a tag team? You better make them look like a fucking tag team, because right now they don't look like a tag team. Are they going to be someone in the tag team division that's going to be a dominant force? Hopefully we start to see this materialize, because right now I ain't seeing it. Right now I ain't buying it. Nobody gives a shit about Shane Thorne and Brendon Vink, especially lining them up with MVP. Nobody gives a shit. Vince, he's demented. Vince was a genius. He is no longer a genius. Get it through your heads. Vince was once a genius. Now, he is actually a detriment to the entire WWE and the entire health of WWE. I mentioned Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews is possibly turning heel. Now, there was an exclusive report from the guys over at WrestlingNews.co that the plan for Apollo Crews was to turn heel. And that was the plan as of last week, and his injury is supposed to lead to something bigger for him. They also noted that there's been talk of MVP leading a heel stable. Dave Meltzer wrote in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter that there's been speculation on that stable, led by MVP, and it would include Apollo Crews, Brendon Vink, and Shane Thorne. MVP right now, from what we can all tell, is already managing Brendon Vink and Shane Thorne as a tag team. Meltzer also noted that the heel turn and joining the stable is one of several options considered for Crews, but it's not necessarily the end direction. In other words, until it happens, the heel turn right now is not confirmed and not concrete. Given that Vince McMahon tends to change his mind often on a daily basis, whatever the plans are today might not be the plans tomorrow. The injury was something planned, and Meltzer noted that the way things played out, with Crews qualifying for Money in the Bank, played as exactly as WWE had planned for them, meaning Apollo Crews was never planned for Money in the Bank, because that match was actually filmed already in the beginning of April. So whatever had happened, he was not a part of it. This is not the first time this year that there were plans to turn Crews heel. In March, there were plans to turn him heel on Chad Gable, but that was dropped and Crews was moved to Monday Night Raw. With no explanation, but he was moved to Monday Night Raw. An unsolicited draft pick or something along those lines, so they didn't really explain what that meant. He just showed up and he was drafted to Monday Night. I'm all for Apollo Crews turning heel. Now, some of you might not agree with that, but I do. Because WWE has done nothing with him for 4 years. And the Apollo Crews that we see now is the same Apollo Crews that we've seen for 4 years. We see babyface, vanilla, smiley Apollo Crews. We look at Apollo Crews now, and we looked over the last 4 years, and nothing was there. When we see him on television, all we see is, yeah, he's talented. Yeah, he can move in the ring. Yeah, he can deliver a great match. But what else is there to Apollo Crews? There's no character development there. There's no charisma. At least think of it in the way that if they're actually contemplating turning him heel, if they do turn him heel and do something with him, the plan of moving him to a heel stable and turning him heel and developing a character means that they actually want to do something with him. Because if they didn't want to do anything with Apollo Crews, he'd still be vanilla, boring, smiley, ordinary Apollo Crews. The fact that they're actually taking initiative in this means that they actually want to use him. What took them so long, I have no fucking idea. But I'm just glad that someone like Apollo Crews is finally getting an opportunity and finally being used. Whether it's a babyface or a heel, I do think he needs some intensity, and I do think he needs to move away from the stigma that we've seen for the last 4 years. Nothing. Moving over to heel might benefit this guy in ways that you could possibly never imagine. He might be something that could turn his entire 4 years around. Could make you think, oh shit, where the fuck has this guy been? Could be something that could erase those 4 years and really bring some just great spotlight to Apollo Crews. So we'll see what happens with that, but turning him heel, I'd rather him turn heel here and they moved away from that Chad Gable shit, because that shit was just lower end, bottom of the barrel garbage that nobody was going to give a shit about. They put that shit on TV just for the sake of getting them on TV because they had nothing else. At least with this, it might play into something a little bit bigger. My only concern about another stable on Monday night, they have a great stable on Monday night already with Andrade, Garza, and Austin Theory with Zelina Vega, and they've done nothing but bury them. They are losers. So what makes you think that WWE is going to take another stable here, another heel stable, and do anything with them? 3 relative unknowns. At least Garza and Andrade and Theory, they had some name recognition to them. Garza is great. Andrade is the U.S. champion, former NXT champion. And Austin Theory is a star-studded future of this company. He is the model guy that they will look at 6 years from now, 5-6 years from now, and look at, he's the next guy in line. He is the next face of the company. What is Brendon Vink got? What is Shane Thorne got? Who is Apollo Crews? You got 2 relative unknowns that nobody knew until 3 weeks ago, and Apollo Crews has been sitting on his ass and catering for 4 years. Now you want to put these guys in a stable and make them mean something when you already got a great stable in those other guys and you don't do anything with them. That could have been that show. That could have been their show. That could have been Garza, Theory, and Andrade's show. What makes you think I'm going to give a shit about another heel stable when you fucked up the first one? There's no trust there. There's no creativity there. WWE failed once, they're going to fail again. That's the history of WWE. They never go all the way. They only go so far and then they get bored and then they move on to something else. Somebody who I think would fit perfect into MVP's group, if MVP is going to be an advocate for these guys. Not saying MVP is complete trash. He's got a great presence on the microphone. He can cut a promo. But somebody else I could see fitting in that is Riddick Moss. I could absolutely see Riddick Moss. Yes, the former 24/7 champion. Riddick Moss in that VIP stable of MVPs. Riddick Moss was in NXT. They released his tag team partner, his old tag team partner. Going back to the NXT days, you guys might not be aware that Riddick Moss was in a tag team. They didn't have a name, but they looked fucking great together. Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli. Tino Sabatelli was released. Now, he was released because WWE wasn't doing anything with him. He was injury prone. He got hurt big time. He sat around. He got healthy. He was cleared to go. They never used him. They never came up with anything for him, and then they ended up releasing him on Black Wednesday. Riddick Moss found himself on Monday Night Raw. Yes, it was in the 24/7 championship title hunt, which is completely garbage. And he was placed with Mojo Rawley, which is bottom of the barrel, fucking grade A trash. But he was on Monday Night Raw. Riddick Moss had this thing going where he had the Riddick regimen. He was like, I want to say he was like Simon Dean, but a lot cooler, right? Remember Simon Dean? So Riddick Moss had the Riddick regimen, and that went nowhere. He came up to Monday Night Raw. They kind of took that away from him. He was just regular old Riddick Moss. But WWE sees big things in Riddick Moss. So the fact that he's not been on TV due to the pandemic, they still have big plans for Riddick Moss. I could absolutely see him fitting into that MVP stable. And if you want to put a spotlight on guys that are relative unknown, that's a great way to go about it. Pair them with somebody who's got some name recognition, who's got that brand behind him in MVP. Former champion, right? I think that would be a great idea. Meltzer reported in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Moss's absence from WWE television is not a bad sign for his future. Meltzer wrote, add Moss to the list of guys that have disappeared with the new normal. He added that Moss not being there is not indicative that they've given up on him. So we will see him sooner rather than later. And like I said, I think fitting into the MVP group would be something worth checking out. Why WWE keeps using Akira Tozawa on Monday Night Raw? Well, Paul Heyman is a big fan of Akira Tozawa. That's why they keep using Tozawa on Monday Night Raw. That's pretty much it. Tozawa was in the Last Chance Gauntlet match. He lost very quickly, but at least he got on the show, according to some people, which makes no fucking sense to me. It's a conflict of interest. You should not, just by sheer logic, you should not be using Tozawa, who is great at what he does. You should not be using Tozawa on Monday Night Raw and then using him on NXT, and you get two versions of Tozawa. You got a loser on Monday night, and you got somebody who's right now 2-0 in the interim Cruiserweight Championship tournament. Doesn't make sense. So if anybody that watches Monday Night Raw, they look like a loser on Monday night. If those same people are watching NXT, they're asking themselves, why is this guy being treated like a superstar on this show, but a jobber and a loser on the other? It does not get the character over. People will look at Tozawa like a loser. If you want him to look strong on one show, then he should be treated that way on the other show. But this is WWE. Anything NXT, they will actively kill it. Paul Heyman may be a big fan of Akira Tozawa, but that only goes so far. It's Vince McMahon's show. It's Vince McMahon's decision. The guy's an NXT talent, bury him. The guy's Asian, bury him. Give me a break. Fucking ridiculous. Should not be that way. I feel for creative stupidity like this. The Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. There was confusion over the non-title match on Monday Night Raw. Now, when the Viking Raiders came out the week prior, and they challenged the Street Profits. It was for the tag team championships because the premise was that the Street Profits have yet to beat the Viking Raiders. So everybody thought that the next match that the Street Profits have will be against the Viking Raiders for the tag team championships because that was what was reiterated by the Viking Raiders. WWE confused everybody on Monday Night Raw. The Street Profits battled the Viking Raiders on the show, and the Raw Tag Team Champions lost. They lost. The champions lost a non-title match, which everybody thought was a title match. They lost a non-title match when they did not even need to A, be on the show, and B, lose. A lot of fans were under the assumption that this was a match for the tag team titles, but it was not. Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Live that they were building towards a Raw Tag Team title match. Obviously, it wasn't booked for Monday Night Raw. It was made more complicated because Tom Phillips, Byron Saxton, and Samoa Joe, the Monday Night Raw commentary team, could not use a word that would have cleared up any confusing situation on Raw for everybody watching at home. There is a word, Meltzer says, that you're not supposed to use on commentary, and that word is non-title, because it's one of the forbidden words. It was noted that they don't have a term, they just have to wait until it's over. There is probably a word that WWE can figure out to use so fans know what is going on. So they could not just actively come out there and say, the Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders in this match on Monday Night Raw that will not be contested for the Tag Team Championships. I just gave you the out. That could not have been explained on Monday Night Raw. You had to only think of non-title and not work around not using that word. First of all, why is non-title match or non-title a forbidden word or words? That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, that's the best sounding way, the best sounding description for what happened on Monday Night Raw. If that is the case, why don't you have the commentary team out there say, this is the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders' third match, and this match tonight will not be contested for the Tag Team Championships. The Viking Raiders need to prove to the Street Profits that they can beat them, right, like they say, and then they will earn a Tag Team title match at Money in the Bank. Or how about this? How about you never do the fucking match on Monday Night Raw? You don't put yourself in a situation where you don't have to fucking dance around saying non-title and just do the match at the pay-per-view like you should have did. And not have it happen on Raw. Vince is a fucking blithering idiot. He's everybody calls him a genius. This is your genius. This is your genius. I should be running the fucking creative department. Holy shit. WWE's Raw announce team would have been permitted to tell the fans that they were watching a non-title match, then things wouldn't have been so confusing. They weren't allowed to use that term, so when the Street Profits were defeated clean, a lot of fans were pretty confused when Michael Cole said, or Tom Phillips rather, they just beat the Raw Tag Team Champions instead of announcing new Tag Team Champions. How stupid. How stupid, folks. And this is the WWE. Then you want to know why they are uncool. Exhibit A, right here. AJ Styles. AJ Styles was not supposed to return to Monday Night Raw. They actually had AJ Styles come back to Monday Night Raw as a ratings ploy, which did not work whatsoever because those fans who were watching were long gone before AJ was announced for Monday Night Raw. This past Monday, AJ made his return to WWE TV since WrestleMania 36, the first time since WrestleMania 36. He was buried in the Boneyard by The Undertaker, as you guys know. Dave Meltzer has since revealed that they wanted to keep Styles off of TV for longer, but decided to bring the former WWE champion back to Raw to help the failing ratings. This means that Styles almost certainly never was going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and his spot would have likely gone to Apollo Crews. So they took Apollo out of the match and put in AJ Styles. Styles was actually on Mixer, streaming video games, and he says this in regards to his return. The return could have been more. I've heard people talk about it. Well, I mean, kinda. It was just wasted. AJ Styles was buried alive. could have come back as a different character in a different mood and a different look, something different about AJ Styles, and he came back and he was exactly the same before he got buried. I'm with you guys. Now I think the circumstances had a lot to do with AJ Styles coming back when he did, but the circumstances, the match, maybe we needed some more star power in that match. Maybe that's what it was. They didn't need a gauntlet match. They could have just announced AJ Styles to be in the Money in the Bank. Seriously, have fun with it. You know, maybe AJ sacrificed. Now, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are released. Maybe AJ sacrificed the souls of Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson to get himself into the Money in the Bank ladder match. Something. Now, I know that's not logical, but it would have certainly been better than the fucking 45-minute garbage gauntlet match that we got on Monday night. I don't know. I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I wish we would have waited, and had times been different, that could have been something that we would have went with. End quote. He even said that it was something that really should have happened. He wanted to come back with a different mood, a different look. He came back the same AJ Styles. The same AJ Styles. And it was all done for ratings, and the ratings actually got worse. So you brought AJ back after being buried alive at WrestleMania, and you did nothing for him, it did nothing for the show, and you wasted all of our time on Monday. And that is a guy who is there for the next 5 years, who's been as loyal as anybody to WWE, complaining in oh so many words, in a very calm vibe, in a very calm demeanor, that the creative sucks. The creative sucks. He said it in the nicest way possible. I wish it could have been different. I'm with you guys. The creative sucks. That's what I got from that entire excerpt coming from his Mixer account. Just terrible. WWE is fucking terrible. Couple of injury notes here. Kevin Owens is out of action with an injury. Owens told RDS in Quebec that his injury happened during his match with Seth Rollins at the WrestleMania tapings. How long he's going to be out, I don't know, but he's not seriously hurt. And he got hurt, obviously, at WrestleMania, jumping off the WrestleMania logo through the table on Seth Rollins. Jimmy Uso has been out as well, so WWE's dealing with a couple of injuries right now. Jimmy Uso out, Kevin Owens out. Owens will be back much sooner than Jimmy Uso. Should be a couple of weeks. Just a sprain or a slight fracture is what Owens is dealing with right now. That is when, like I said, he dove off the WrestleMania sign through the announce table. Uso is going to be out for 6 to 9 months with a knee injury that he also suffered at WrestleMania in that triple threat ladder match. Rey Mysterio, not hurt, but his contract is set to expire this summer. So that makes 2 guys with their contract set to expire in WWE, one being Mysterio and the other being Daniel Bryan. Mysterio could absolutely end up in AEW because that's somebody that Cody has said publicly he wants to pursue for AEW. And I'm sure Tony Khan's in the same boat as Cody with that one. Mysterio did not exercise that option in his contract. So right now it is due to expire this summer, at the end of the summer in September. He signed a 2-year deal in September 2018 with an opt-out option after the first 18 months. The reason why he chose to sign a short contract rather was because he wanted to keep his options open and he wanted to see how his body would hold up. I think his body is holding up. The only thing that is not holding up is WWE's creative, and Rey Mysterio is probably better off doing something else because he's going absolutely nowhere in WWE. He's just there because he's just another name for Vince McMahon to pluck off the shelf and use when he needs to. Now, it's interesting to note that he's not agreed to terms on a new deal unless something gets signed in the next few months. I don't think Rey Mysterio is going to re-sign. Why would he? Like I mentioned, he could be a free agent. He can sign with AEW. Like I said, Cody is very interested in him. WWE has already begun talks with him reportedly on a new contract. Nothing has been revealed yet as far as how far along that is. Several months ago, some people in WWE felt that Mysterio would opt to stay with the company since there was talk about having his son Dominic start his wrestling career this year, but that has yet to happen, and there are no guarantees that he now will have plans. Plans have changed since they've been forced to work with a skeleton roster at the Performance Center. People would not rule out a jump to AEW for Mysterio since he is friends with several people who work over there, and he worked the All In show in 2018 despite WWE's attempts to get him to get off that show and pull him from that show. If Mysterio signs another WWE contract, it will likely be locked up for 3 to 5 years, as Vince McMahon is looking for long-term commitments to keep wrestlers away from AEW. I think this is it for Mysterio. You know, he'll do what he has to do for his son Dominic, but the one thing I worry about is if Rey Mysterio goes over to AEW, what that means for Dominic's career in WWE, because he will be at the mercy of Vince McMahon. If Rey Mysterio leaves WWE high and dry, they could do the same thing that they did with everybody else in that same boat. Ted DiBiase Jr., buried. Cody, buried. Right? Curtis Axel, buried. Bo Dallas, buried. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Rey Mysterio's son is going to be left at the feet of Vince McMahon for Vince McMahon to have his own way with him. If Mysterio goes to AEW, there's no doubt, fucking doubt in my mind that Dominic is going to be buried. Dominic will never amount to anything in WWE until Rey Mysterio, if he does go to AEW, is gone from AEW. And he's not competing for the competition. So you got that to look forward to. And I would not be shocked to see WWE do something like that. I do think Rey is on his way to AEW. I felt that way for months. I just didn't know when his contract was coming up. And now we know. It's coming up at the end of the summer. Finally, guys, this one I'm just throwing in there at the end of it because I find it to be ridiculous. I think Zack Ryder's awesome. I think Zack Ryder has a lot to prove in pro wrestling if he wants to pursue that. Maybe he gets picked up by AEW. Cody is a big fan. Brandy and Cody actually are big fans of Zack Ryder. I mean, it was Brandy who set up Zack Ryder with Chelsea Green. I mean, clearly. Zack Ryder found his future wife because of Cody and Brandy Rhodes. Zack Ryder was actually interviewed on Sirius XM, Busted Open Radio, and said he blames himself for not getting pushed in WWE. He says this. Well, let me start by saying about grab the brass ring. I think you have to do it, not just in WWE, but in life. I was at a point in my career where I wasn't satisfied with what I was doing. And I'm not going to give you the whole story, but the long story short, I started a YouTube show, it took off, and I got over. He would then go on to say that WWE never really wanted to really have him pursue his own show and create that buzz for himself. I don't think WWE accepted it. I knew that was my plan. I didn't think it was going to happen fast, but it organically did. When I started that YouTube show, I wanted to either get noticed or get fired because I wanted that buzz. So I would get pushed in WWE or get fired and have the buzz elsewhere, you know? Luckily, I didn't get fired. Luckily, I got noticed and I got used on television more. He even won I believe it was the U.S. Championship, right? He won the United States Championship. The former WWE superstar would then finish by saying about how he was seemingly punished by the company for creating his own buzz online. The term punished, I mean, listen, at the time when everything was going down, when I was getting pushed off the stage in a wheelchair, I could have gone into retrospect, gone to Vince McMahon and said, what's going on here? At the time, I was so young, so naive, I said, oh, this is part of the plan, you know? I'd wrestle Kane at Backlash next month. I wasn't aware enough or mature enough to knock on the boss's door and say, I'm one of the top merch sellers. I've been busting my ass. Why is this happening? So I blame nobody but myself for what went down there. With social media now being a huge part of pro wrestling, Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, was years ahead of the game when he decided to create his own universe on YouTube with Z, True Long Island Story. Hopefully, Zack Ryder can move on and be more successful on the indies or in AEW, with Impact, with NWA, with Ring of Honor, if he so chooses. I want to let you guys know, this is not abnormal. This is not abnormal. This is the way of WWE. This is the life of WWE. We mentioned this with the revival on Talk is Jericho. All they wanted to do was go out there and showcase themselves and do what they wanted to do. Be the greatest tag team in the world. WWE did not allow Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder to do that because they were afraid that they might get more over than WWE had planned for them to get over. And at that point, they don't want to have someone do something that is not in the plan because that's not what WWE wants. They want to bury you, they will keep you buried. They will not give you the opportunities to do so. They will only push who they want to push. If anybody else gets over that is not in their plan, and gets over on their own by doing something like the Revival want to do, or do something like Zack Ryder did online, they will look at it in a demeaning way. Oh, what are you doing? We own you. You're not allowed to do that, because they have this fear of someone being more over than anything on their show. And if they know that, if that wrestler or wrestlers knows that, they could take that somewhere else and build that buzz while maintaining a WWE superstar status. So WWE will kill that, and when that contract comes, you will have nothing, and you will enter the indies and enter the free agent market with absolutely no momentum. Whereas if WWE didn't give a shit, you'd enter the indies and the free agent market with all this buzz around you, but WWE will never allow that because it's on their dime, it's on their watch, it's on their platform. Zack Ryder blames himself for not getting pushed in WWE. I am here to say that Zack Ryder should never blame himself for anything. This is the way WWE is. He was there for 15 years. He showed how WWE, or he showed how it should be for a WWE wrestler to show passion and dedication and love for the art of pro wrestling. He showed them how to be a loyal and dedicated employee. He did everything they ever asked him to do. He went over and got himself a YouTube show. He put himself online. People fell in love with his charisma. People fell in love with his character. People wanted to see more of him. People fell in love with his universe. And WWE hated that for the reasons I just mentioned. Zack Ryder only wanted the best for himself. WWE didn't allow it. They didn't want the best for Zack Ryder. They only wanted what they wanted. They wanted to push who they want. That's why when you see Matt Hardy come in with the broken stuff, how WWE didn't want to use that because they didn't come up with it. They didn't have plans for it. Matt Hardy, he was more over than any wrestler in the industry with the broken gimmick. He comes on into the WWE. WWE knew how over he was. They killed it. And now, luckily for Matt, it really didn't affect him too much because he's going to be more over than he ever was in AEW with the broken gimmick. But WWE opted to kill it so that when Matt Hardy does eventually go somewhere else, he has nothing, and he's got to start from the ground up again. Zack Ryder should never blame himself for getting buried or getting himself pushed in WWE. He should never blame himself for not getting pushed in WWE. I hate hearing stories like that. Same thing happened with Rusev. Same thing happened with Cesaro and Jack Swagger. Look at Rusev and Aiden English. You mean to tell me they shouldn't have been tag team champions with Rusev Day? Rusev started an entire trend that went #1 viral on social media with a #1 selling t-shirt in the company. Do you think that WWE envisioned Rusev, of all fucking people, to have the #1 selling t-shirt in WWE? Did you envision ever that Aiden English and Rusev would be the most over superstars in the entire company? WWE had no plans for that to happen. They didn't come up with Rusev Day. And what did they want to do? They wanted to kill it before it even got bigger. Same thing with Cesaro and Jack Swagger. I could not believe how over they were with We the People. WWE had no plans for Cesaro, no plans for Jack Swagger. They went and made their own momentum. Somehow they got over. WWE killed it. WWE killed them dead. Never again were they the same. Never. This is what they do. This is what they do. They kill what they can't create. They kill what they don't have planned because of fear and selfishness. Zack Ryder falls in line with everybody else that has ever been in that boat. Never blame yourself. Never. Now he's going to go on and do bigger and better things. He's going to be more respected and more appreciated than he ever was in 15 years in WWE. You think WWE gives a shit about releasing Zack Ryder? Of course not. They don't give a fuck. Zack Ryder is just another name that is going to go out there and never amount to anything to them. That's why Zack Ryder is going to use this and be better than he ever was in 15 years with the WWE. And the simple fact of the matter is, if you want to look at Zack Ryder deep down to what Zack Ryder is and what he did, the reason why shows like Being the Elite and all these Road to series, right, all these wrestler series on YouTube, have you ever realized that without Zack Ryder doing True Long Island Story, you might not even be sitting here watching a Being the Elite every single week? He was the forefather of pro wrestlers putting themselves out there on social media and on YouTube and getting themselves over. Why are the Young Bucks so over? Being the Elite is a major proponent for why they are over, on top of everything else that they've done. It gives them the outlet to express themselves and get their charisma and brand and personality out there. WWE wants nothing to do with that. If Being the Elite was on WWE TV, Being the Elite would be fucking buried before you could even say Elite. That's why, another reason, you think about it, why they didn't end up with WWE. WWE would have asked them to fork over all of that. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? When you look at Zack Ryder, you think about Being the Elite and what he started. He will be much better off for it in the end. So will Rusev, and so will everybody else that has ever been suppressed by WWE management. Shame on them. Don't ever feel like you have to blame yourself for not being over. It's not your fault. Guys, I'm getting out of here. Thank you so very much for all your support on the podcast. If you did enjoy it, please hit that thumbs up. If you're on Spotify and iTunes, please leave me a rating. Leave me a 5-star rating. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps out the channel immensely. I've been keeping an eye on the charts, man. We're in the top 25, top 30 every single week. I want to kind of creep up there and really be amongst all the big guns in the YouTube wrestling community and the IWC. So make sure you guys do that on Spotify and iTunes. Hit that 5-star rating, and on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys want to check out all the other content that I've uploaded on the channel, links are down below in the description. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Keeps.com/JD. Try them out. If you guys are going through what I'm going through, try them out, man. You get 50% off. So I want to thank them for supporting the podcast. Patreon.com/JDfromNY206. If you guys want to support the podcast via Patreon. And I will be live tomorrow on Sunday afternoon with preview predictions of Money in the Bank. And then again, right after the show is over on YouTube. Live on YouTube with the Money in the Bank review. Guys, thank you so much. And I will see you all tomorrow afternoon talking Money in the Bank. See you guys later.